Okay, I hope everybody can hear me. This is Sam from West Coast Polishing out here in Fresno, California. Um, Let me climb up here. Give me a second. I placed my camera up on the scaffold with me, so hopefully you guys can get a good picture. So I'm up on the scaffold. The camera is about, I don't know, looks like about 10 feet high. I'm up on the upper part of the tanker. This is a very unique project, um, to say the least. This tanker's 30, 40 years old, has never been polished. And it was quite the project. But anyway, so we did sanding, we did acid wash, we did sanding, rotary sanding, as you guys know it, with some places 220, some places 320, real aggressive in terms of desanding. Then of course we did super heavy cut with the brown, yellow wheel, some orange wheel in some places. It's just some places were needed more attention than others. And we did another acid wash, got it all stripped down and cleaned up. Then we did a green with um, Zephyr's Green Moss Signature Series white untreated 10-inch wheel on the grinders. And then we cleaned it all up with mineral spirits and clean microfiber towels. And now we're cycloing it. Now I cycled 75% of this tanker already on from my hand down. We're doing from my hand up. Now, those of you who have done tankers, have done Airstreams, you know that it looks the same in the shade. That you can't really see where you cycled unless you have the eye for it. But when you take it outside, of course, you're going to see all the cut lines, all the inconsistencies, and the lack of your finished process, if that's your process. So I'm going to be cycling a stage here, a section here, paneling, and then some of the railing, and then we'll just see how that's done with the Cyclo. Now, I get questions more than not, where do you get Cyclo towels? I have not been able to find the original cotton fleece towels. Let me show you. These are the cotton fleece towels. These are what they look like. I hope you can see that. I think they're about 18 by 18 inches. They got slits on all the corners and all the sides. I use all the corners. That's just me. Um, it's kind of flattened on this side and fluffed on the inner side. I get them at a company in the UK called Fraser. That's the only place I've been able to find them. If you find these in the US, please let me know. During the COVID, major suppliers were not shipping to the US. From what I understand, I can't imagine why they would stop selling this in the US unless the supply chain got interrupted by COVID. But anyway, it makes sense to me. I've looked high and low for these original Cyclo towels, and even some of the suppliers that I get them from, like Tom, may he rest in peace, from Perfect Polish. Now it's run by another gentleman. They couldn't get them no more either, and I contacted the gentleman that runs it now, Art, in Perfect Polish, and he actually got together some of his reserves and sold them to me a while back. So that told me that there's a problem with the supply chain. But they do have a new towel. It's rectangular in shape. It's thicker, harder to clean, harder to manage to me, and it might be okay for other folks. At least it's something. I just don't like the way it finishes on my work. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's something I'm doing. I don't know. But you can get those everywhere here in the U.S. and at many suppliers in California also. Well, not many, but some. But yeah, these are the Cyclo towels anyway. So I've already wiped my deal down. Try not to move so I don't drop my phone up here. We used to use it sparingly, but in light of having to do it 2 or 3 times, maybe, or even 4 times, just being able to do it once or twice, good passes, I've modified my process, and I put it on a little bit heavy, since we are dealing with the transportation industry was, you know, and we're using aggressive techniques and we're putting in cuts. So to get those cut lines down, you got to use enough Nuvite that's going to do a little cut, because this does have a micro cut, or I should say an ultra micro cut. Which brings me to a thought that me and my boy Tony Metallar, we were in process of developing a ultra finish and a super finish, and I think he's doing his super finish, which is great. Good luck on that. I was supposed to be developing an ultra finish. It just, man, there's just not enough time for a day. And in a day, as you guys know that, those of you on the grind, building your brand, building your business, building your team, building your clientele base, whatever it is you're doing, it just, if you're going to do it right, it takes everything you got. So, but anyway, FYI. So I just put it on kind of thick, and I wouldn't hesitate to put on even a little bit more. I used to put it on, textbook is every 3 or 4 inches, a little dot, 4x4. That's textbook, but this is anything but orthodox and anything but textbook. This is the unusual here. So anyway, we're gonna get going. Let me just hope my plug doesn't come undone here. Oh, good. I reuse my Cyclo towels. I wash them. And it's hard to wash them because this stuff doesn't come off. If you guys got a good procedure how to wash them, please let me know. I have to soak mine in a caustic solution, a caustic soda solution, sodium hydroxide, and maybe 75% water, 25% caustic, and let them soak and agitate them, get them out, pressure wash them, and then wash them. So it's very tedious, very tedious. When they were readily available, the Cyclo towels, I used to, shoot, man, just buy the packs by the load, but you can't even get them anymore. It's very hard to get them. Shipping's like almost, I want to say $80 just to ship them. So anyway, FYI. I'm sorry. You just kind of put it on. Let's look for a clean spot. Here's my corner here. Just slap it on there. I roll it up. Just cross it, and I hold it. They have clamps that you can clamp them down with. I don't. Okay. Gotta be careful up here. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of smear it around so it doesn't fling around. My travel speed is very slow. I'll probably do a foot, I don't know, every 3, 4, 5 seconds. You know, I overlap just like you do if you're buffing or doing a DA on an automobile paint. You overlap, I don't know, like 60, 80%. And that's what I do. Now, I don't recommend doing this in the sun, but it is possible. You just got to be a little bit, you got to tailor your movement towards that. Meaning you might have to move a little faster or whatnot. I keep going over it 2 or 3 times, working it down, letting the ultra diminishing abrasive break down and allow it to go into a finish mode. Again, the new Bite S has very little bite, but it does have a bite, a micro bite if you would. So in order to get rid of the cut lines, you got to have an ultra micro bite to get rid of them. So it takes a smaller scratch to get rid of a bunch of smaller scratches to get rid of a big scratch. It's the way it is. Because if it didn't have a scratch or a bite, it wouldn't do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that would be a wax. Waxes don't have bites because you're only putting something on. You're not taking nothing off. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm getting this pretty much done. You see that? That's nice and dirty, nice and caked on. It's got a little bit of compound, a little bit of micro aluminum. It's got a little bit of everything. So I'm going to reposition my towel to a clean spot, and I'm going to do the cleanup. Because we used to wipe these with microfiber towels after we're done, but we don't because they scratch. Even a microfiber towel, how subtle it is, on this type of a finish, it will leave a footprint. Now with this area, I will start my new section applying the new Vite. Okay, and just FYI, guys, I'm using a knockoff Cyclo. It's a dual head polisher. I'm trying to see the brand. Oh, True Power. If you're doing it for yourself, or it's just you 1 or 2 guys, and you're not worried about people about people mishandling the Cyclo, because they are 300, 350 a unit. If you're not worried about that, then buy a Cyclo. I got a couple. But if you have 6, 7, 8 guys working on it, you might want to buy this. This only costs like 70 bucks, 60 bucks. It's worth its weight in gold. So if you got a team, or you're just on a budget, well, then go for it, because it's generally going to do the same thing. Your technique and your process is going to have is 95% of the job. This is 5% of the job, as long as it's technically within resemblance or within parameters of an original Cyclo. Follow me on that? And this has an adjustable variable. But anyway, so I can get the camera and I can show you what it is. You can see the travel lines and the cut lines there, and they're almost all gone here. Now, depending on how many times you want to do it, what you want your end result to be, it's gonna determine how many passes you make. Now I'm just gonna do one more pass right here, and that way you can see, and then I'll get the camera and I'll show you the difference. Now, this isn't the only way to do it, and nor am I advocating that or insinuating that. This is the way we have perfected it. And those of you who know me, who know West Coast Policy, know our process, this is what we do. And many folks that we have gave advice to or trained have had many successes, but it is tedious. You gotta have the knack for it. You gotta have the patience for it. It's quite a deal. I've learned over the years that it is, the better we got at this. I mean, because you ain't the best at it when you start. I mean, you become gooder and gooder. You perfect your process. You see that the trial and errors, and understanding everything that's going on with it. So it added significantly to our overhead, to what it takes for me to finish the job. If I got all this sanding, all this cutting, removing parts, semi-finishing, and ultimately cycloing, factoring in it takes 2 guys, what it takes him to cycle a tank, that's a significant amount of time, or even 3 guys. 3 guys to cycle the bulkheads and all the sides and the rail will take about, it will take, I don't know, I'm going to guess anywhere from 12 to 18 hours. That adds significantly to and that's knowing what you're doing. That's getting with the program. So it just, and then, you know, cleaning the cyclo tails, purchasing the cyclo tails. I mean, it just adds, if you're doing the cyclo system, it adds to your overhead. And of course, you can't pass all your inconsistencies and your inadequacies down to the customer. You have to pass down the cost of you doing it efficiently, effectively, or else it's not going to make sense to them. And then, you know, you're not going to be able to do the projects. Okay. But anyway, okay. I got that on there. I'm talking a lot. Let me get this on here again, and I'll show you what it does. Let me find a spot. Oh, maybe I need a new gel. Oh, there goes a spot right there. So I'm finding a spot here, guys. Sometimes I just put this thing on and I go. See, like, watch. I'll just go and I'll just wrap it over. I'm pretty good at that. Getting efficient at that and getting effective, that makes all the sense in the world. All right, you got to stretch over, keep your cord off the work. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do one fast pass. Make sure it's all in there. Sometimes I gotta maneuver this way so I can get towards the bottom, the base of the rail. And here I go. Gotta let it do its thing. And this is an awkward position, so it is what it is. It's a little tedious, if you ask me. And you're tempted to go fast, but you can't. And I'm gonna go back on the same deal. You're tempted to just get it done. But unfortunately, this rail is flat and it shows everything. Very tedious. All right, I'm trying to clean up this back end over here. Sometimes you gotta get creative. Sometimes you just gotta get creative. Boy, that works out your arms. All right. Yeah, that's a little job there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me see if I got another spot. Yeah, I got another spot on this. Give me a second. Well, I'm missing a thing right here, slit, so I'll use this one. All right. Now, so we're just gonna clean it up, guys. Okay. All right. So there it is, guys. Let me get my phone here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm walking over here without falling down. Okay, so there goes, and I don't know if you can see it because the lens won't let you see it sometimes. Right here, versus right here. I don't know. Again, you can't see the difference in the clarity. I could see the clarity on the section that we done. Let me see. On the section that we done. But anyway, this is Sam from West Coast Polishing. I hope this has been helpful and giving you some general information on cycloing. Any questions, just inbox me or hit me up. My number is 559-217-5791. Thanks again. Everyone have a blessed day.